tag. Very nice, very evil.
Yeah, that's tag shit.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really.
What up, and what up, Tag Nation? Welcome to another episode of Tag Me In. You got me, the Universe's champion, Scooter Ray, Lip Dizzle to my left, Juggernaut to my right. And you know what I'm saying? We're going to just get into it. You know, this is going to just be more of a story-filled and rumor-filled episode. So let's just get into it. All right, y'all. Word from the curve. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, Naomi was supposed to have a title match this Monday against Io Sky. They said she wasn't medically cleared. Nothing has came out, so this is all rumors. But apparently, the rumor is Big Jim didn't proceed with caution.
Yeah, this is where you say, "Damn it, Jimmy!
Damn it, Jimmy!" So apparently, Big Jim didn't proceed with caution. And word from the curb is Naomi could be pregnant. So, if that is true, first and foremost, congratulations. I know how much she did want a family and everything. Congratulations. But two, man, what a time for this to happen. Right when she is just on a tear, you know? But hey, no time is better than the present, apparently.
Apparently. Because, whew.
You know, now funny enough, she been making all of them tweets about Big Jim and all these innuendos, so it would be truly funny if she is pregnant, because you know all the things that she's been saying on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so there's that. So it's a possibility that our current women's world champion could be pregnant. So we shall see what happens. I'm pretty sure in like a week or two, we'll know for sure. So there's that. Gentlemen, how do y'all feel about WWE and their counter programming?
You go ahead, Dizzle. You go ahead with the
I think it depends in what regard you're talking about it.
Well, WWE and their counter programming towards AEW. So we know next Sunday, they're going to counter program Forbidden Door with NXT Heatwave. There's a rumor that they're going to counter program All In September, which it will be the first WWE show to counter program. Yeah. Now, there's a rumor that they want John Cena's last match in December to counter program World's End.
Okay, so I mean, we've already talked about how we feel about the counter program, and we feel, I mean, it's pretty much unanimous that we feel like it's not necessary for WWE to do it. Now, in terms of this specific instance, I think it is utterly blatant, because I can understand the whole thing with like having Goldberg's retirement thing on Saturday Night's Main Event and having that technically kind of counter program All In, which I don't think it was a match. I don't think it hurt All In at all, so that's okay. But when you talk about,
I meant All Out. Sorry, All Out counter programming in September.
So when you talk about having John Cena and in his retirement, especially when you talk about the status and the adulation that he has, as well as the respect, not only from, you know, the company, other professional wrestlers, but the fans as a whole. The fact that they are intentionally counter programming AEW for that is a blatant slap in the face to AEW. Yes, because this is one of those things where it's a gimme. Like, you already know that you're about to monopolize the fans by having them just go and rush to see John Cena's last match.
Yep.
It's not fair, and I think this is this multiplies significantly how I felt before when we talked about the counter programming of WWE to AEW. This is just it's not warranted. Like, you could have easily, you know, WWE has the opportunity and the privilege to be able to call their shots at almost wherever venue that they want, especially when you talk about a John Cena retirement. Who's not gonna want to go and be in-house for something like that? You can sell that out in a weekend.
Yes.
If there was any doubt, if there is still a shred, like a morsel of people that still don't believe that WWE is not doing this intentionally, and this does not wake you up, you are absolutely as delusional as Goldberg.
Well, Dizzle, since
And
you just said that, hold on, Jux, hold on, because I'm a counterpoint, not counterpoint, but I'm gonna add to what Dizzle just said. So apparently, according to Uncle Dave, Dave Meltzer, he's mentioned that WWE is hard countering AEW programming because they want to stop them from getting another media rights deal. They want to put TNA in that second position because they can control them. His exact statement: WWE really wants TNA to become the other promotion that they can control. This is a major full court press. They just want Tony Khan out the box, and they know if the numbers stay good, he's going to get a renewal at a much bigger number, just like they did. He's already very profitable. The number will make him incredibly profitable, and they'll never get away from him or anything like that. So they feel that they need to make sure this is the last contract. So that was from Dave Meltzer. Whether you believe him, whether you don't, it's kind of put out there. But go ahead, Jugs. What was you gonna add on to it?
Yeah, they've been doing this counter programming for a while, and it's kind of petty, at this point. I don't like it. Because AEW, they have these shows set out and go like, oh yeah, let's just bring it. WWE goes like, oh yeah, let's just have a WWE PLE. Because like there wasn't even one like scheduled in September. And like,
no,
oh yeah, let's just have a main roster PLE on the same day as All Out. That's really petty right there. And they're gonna try to make it like, have all the big names on there, probably like Brock Lesnar and John Cena on that show or something. But like, I don't know. And also the whole stuff with like TNA, that's not going to be able to go up against AEW. I'm sorry. I mean, I like TNA and all, but I can't go up against AEW on Wednesday.
What's gonna end up happening a little bit with AEW. I mean, sorry, with WWE and AEW. It kind of feels like that dad who keeps telling the daughter, don't date that dude. That's what it's going to kind of feel like. You're going to keep as WWE basically keep telling people not to watch AEW, don't look at AEW. Yeah. Then eventually people going to be like, well, let me go see what AEW is about. The reason why they want to keep me away from them so much.
And then of course you got all the you got the tribalism out there going like, you got your WWE people going like, like talking all bad about AEW, and then vice versa. You got the you got AEW fans talking all bad about WWE. I mean, I don't know why we just can't enjoy wrestling. Well, go ahead, Dizzle.
To Scoot's point, I mean, because this is one of the things where it's going to play against WWE as a whole, because again, remember back in mid to late 90s, WCW did the same thing. Remember when they did the whole thing where they used to go about an hour longer, and then they did the whole infamous thing where they're like, Mankind,
if you want to go, if you want to turn over to see that, and then literally everybody went over there and turned to see it. Yep,
exactly. So that's going to be the thing that I would assume would be the one thing that sparks interest back into AEW with whatever they have lost. Because I mean, they're pretty much, I don't want to say stagnant. I want to say they're steady at the moment, because they're at risk of being stagnant, but they're definitely steady right now. And if there isn't interest now, and WWE keeps doing the same thing, it's going to get to a point where they basically shoot themselves in the foot the way WCW did.
And also these ticket prices, and also like, I don't know how people are affording to go to all these shows, and like,
there it is.
And also, there's also been rumors about having 2 WrestleManias a year, like one in the United States, around April.
Like, and honestly, this whole thing really reeks of when ESPN got UFC. how UFC used to be like once every 3 months or something like that, and the next thing you know, we started getting UFCs every month. Then when it went to ESPN and ESPN Plus, it was like, hey, not only do we got a UFC every month, but like almost every 2 weeks, we're gonna give you another UFC, and it's like, god damn, like this is what this is starting to sound like.
And also, there, there's rumors about them having. So the other WrestleMania is going to be international. Like I heard. Guess where it's going to be at? Guess where they think about putting it at?
Oh, it'd be Saudi Arabia.
Yes, you got that correct. So would they make that 2 nights over there as well? Oh,
most likely. Most likely.
And that's TKO and WWE being, or TKO being 3 billion. Was it 3 billion or 3 million? I think it's $3 billion.
It should be billion at this point.
Yeah. They're in so much debt, so they're trying to get go get that blood money from them. Like I don't know, WWE's just been really petty. I don't like it at all, and it's just somewhat like it just wears you out to a point. And they don't need to do all this counter programming with AEW. They don't.
Well,
it's not necessary. No, you
good. Funny. I'll say, funny, because this can kind of roll into the big story, because WWE, if they want to start doing 2-night manias and 2 manias a year and this, that, and the third, you would think they would want people who are favorites to be at said shows, but obviously things are a little weird, and that leads to the curious case of this man here, Karrion Kross and Scarlett. So, as we know, as of now, he's without a contract. They let as in WWE let their contract expire. Pretty much SummerSlam was like his swan song. Mm-hmm. I got a chance to watch that documentary, the part 2. I didn't get a chance to watch part 1, but I got a chance to watch part 2. And the things that is crazy is the fact that what's wrong with Kross? That's where it just comes down to at the end of the day. Like, what's wrong with Kross? Like, why can't a Karrion Kross, who obviously y'all see as being loved by fans, can't get a chance?
That kind of reminds me of the whole, like, how CM Punk was, back in, like, 2013, 2014, around that time, like when he was, or maybe like 2011 or so, like airing out his, what was it? He was doing his whole pipe bomb stuff. And how Karrion Kross, he did that whole shoe on whose podcast was that?
Sam Roberts.
Yeah, Sam Roberts podcast. Doing that whole shoe call. Like, was that a work, or was that real? There, people can figure it out. And you can see all this love for Karrion Kross, and you see the bright mind he has, for the wrestling business, and like his character.
Yeah.
And let me put on my tinfoil hat here. Okay, let me put on my tinfoil hat. Okay, so let me kind of work this out a little bit. So Paul Heyman on the documentary said something about you have let his contract expire. You do the whole we want Kross chance. Around all these different arenas. See if it actually starts to ramp up more. And then you bring him back, when it's at its peak. Because we didn't really see much this week on Monday Night Raw when they were in, where were they at? Like Queen City, like they were in Canada and stuff. Quebec, yeah. We didn't really see it this much when they were on Raw. But yeah, I feel like this is a working way, but I don't know. It could be that he's gonna go elsewhere. Because if they don't give him what he wants, I don't know. It's very interesting. You guys want to chime in?
Well, I know Dizzle has some bars to get off.
Yeah. And this is gonna pretty much segue into my whole get it off your chest thing, because first and foremost, I have to rescind a lot of stuff. Well, not a lot of stuff, but a few things that I said, because I was very vehement in the fact that Karrion had secretly signed, and it was a whole ploy and stuff like this. But I had the opportunity to watch Karrion Kross or Kevin Kaser watch his interview on Ariel Helwani.
Okay, now I didn't get a chance to watch that interview yet.
Okay, well, I'll give you the clip notes on it. So basically, they did offer him a contract earlier this week. They basically said that he had 24 hours to sign it. He had requested basically, as far as like how they got to the number that they got to, which what they were offering him. Because that was his whole deciding process on if he was going to resign, because he wanted to know like what the value was and not necessarily the monetary, because he didn't really care about the dollar sign, because I mean I'm pretty sure WWE it's good, but he wanted to kind of see how they got to the number in terms of how they valued him. And they told him after he asked it that he had 24 hours to sign, and so he didn't, obviously. They didn't offer Scarlett a contract. He did inquire about that. And they basically told him that they pretty much get to the whole Scarlett thing as far as her contract stuff after they dealt with him. Yeah. So of course, at this point, there's still nothing. He said that he's still, at the table, so to speak. He did state that, he does want to be in WWE, both him and Scarlett. So he's not above, talking to them as far as trying to reach a deal. He did state to Ariel, because Ariel did ask him up front, is this whole thing right now a work? And he said no. He says, right now I'm not I'm not the character right now. Like, I'm talking to you as Kevin. Yeah. And so everything, and of course, he's a genuine person. So I do believe
I can catch that from that part 2, that he's a genuine person.
Yeah, and like you can see all the the meet and greets he does with his fans, and like and like he even takes you kind of like pulls back the. I mean, we got that show Unreal and stuff. He's pulling back the curtain. Kind of breaking kayfabe a little bit. Which I like that. I think that's pretty cool with him. And also, R-Truth. He kind of said best. He doesn't have that like world title to his name, but he gets that organic. He's organically over. People get behind. Go ahead.
Well, no. I'm saying because it's about to lend credence to what you just said about organic and getting people over. Because don't forget, it happened to this man.
Well, it's okay. I'm gonna get to all that.
There's literally, hold on. This man, it happened to this gentleman or gentleman, and it also technically happened to this duo as well.
And also, also, another point I want to bring, with him organically getting over, people, people backstage were saying, oh, don't listen to the noise, it's going to go away after a while, and
it reminds you of this.
Yeah,
them chanting Rusev Day, they're not being serious. They're just teasing. They're just having fun. How are they having fun when my shirt is the #1 seller?
And then he went also backstage, because like he was like because like there was somebody who reported, that a while back, how his stuff was, #1 selling on WWE Shop. And they're like, oh, we don't know that. Like, how do you not know that his merch is the #1 selling? Like, they're definitely they don't want to push you, or they wouldn't go like, like they'll give you some a little bit, and then they'll pull your chain back, and then go like, no, it's not your time yet. It's not your time. But when you get to that time, it's really it's an amazing moment. But like, yeah, it's weird how the wrestling world works. It's crazy how he's organically over, but they don't want to push him.
They want to push him. But all right, Dizzle, you said you had to
get
some bars off.
Yeah. So I still got to land.
Yeah, go ahead. We will give you the runway, sir.
But I want y'all to hold on to that thought as well when y'all talked about his meet and greets and stuff like that when it comes to the documentary, because he does, as far as him being a genuine person. So everything that he said in the interview kind of verified everything that has been going on, all the questions that were technically asked for a lot of people. So, you know, this whole thing is not a work. Ariel did stress a whole lot about, you know, because of the whole Seth Rollins thing and how everybody, you know, still thinks that this is. Now, my tinfoil hat moment is, you know, I still do think that he is going to re-sign with WWE. I don't think that this is over. I don't think he's going anywhere else. I think that this is going to, you know, marinate for a little bit, and then, you know, they'll come to some type of agreement, and then we'll get there. However, what pisses me off, and this primarily because of me watching that documentary, because one thing happened that hasn't happened in a long time. Because when I was very deep, and this is past, you know, when I was a kid watching Raw, Nitro, and all this other shit, past the point where Ruthless Aggression era came, and then I kind of fizzled out a little bit and then came back. This is around the time when I started getting into TNA, and I started doing the DVDs, because when I started buying those DVDs, I started buying DVDs for all the WWE documentaries at the time. You know, the Chris Benoit, the Randy Orton, the history of the Intercontinental, history of the world, history of the tag championship, stuff like that. And I started becoming just enthralled in just like the history of professional wrestling as a whole. And this is what made me love this industry even more. And so watching that documentary brought me back into that, because, you know, us being able to see the ins and outs and be with them. Like, I understand that they have Unreal and they do like the evil stuff and the rivalry stuff like that, but that stuff doesn't have like the same soul, have the same heart. When I watched this documentary from Karrion Kross, it purely reminded me of all the stuff that I used to watch, because it was a passion thing, and it was something where when WWE used to do those documentaries, they were doing it for the fans, because it's like, in order for you to want to go out and buy it, you have to have that want and that need to. So they catered that stuff to the fans, and they gave everything they could in those documentaries, because they knew that the people that love this industry were going to buy it. Now it just feels like everything that they do add to a Peacock, you know, is just something that they're just throwing out there for content, like a Disney Plus. You know, they just throw shit on there because they just need more content. And that's what that felt like. But for this, and this is what pissed me off the most, because as I'm watching this, it reminded me of what they did with Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
Because you have somebody here who is, I'm not going to say masterful in the ring, like he's good in his own right, but of course he's not the best. But his character work and what he wants to do, him pitching ideas, him wanting to do XYZ, the stuff that he talked about with Judgment Day, the stuff that he talked about with Wyatt 6, the stuff that he talked about with the Righteous, and everything that he wanted, that he was going to do with, you know, with them.
Yeah.
And now everything that he's talking about now, on the same way that they dropped the ball with Bray Wyatt, how he wanted to do so much stuff, and they just kind of just said, nope, and just handcuffed him. And then, of course, you know, we had his untimely passing, which I felt like we were probably getting to the point where they were allowing him to just stretch his pen. And unfortunately, we didn't get that because we lost Bray. I don't want the same thing to happen with Kross. Not saying that he's going to lose his life, but the fact that WWE dropping the ball and just ultimately losing somebody who could have honestly brought a level of soul and heart to the WWE that is desperately needed at this point. And I'm not saying that you have to listen to the fans on everything, but if you just look at Kross as a whole, watch that documentary and just look at him, the necessity and the warrant to have somebody that is there for the fans so genuinely and understands that this business doesn't just roll on just, as CM Punk would say, guys being cogs on the wheel. I understand that this is a machine, but at the end of the day, if you want WWE to have even a small level of what it had back in at its highest points, you have to reach out to the fans who's passionate enough to ride with this. And you need to be behind the superstars that's willing to cater to those passionate fans, not the IWC, the passionate fans who are willing to reach out to these superstars individually, not the ones that's trying to get out autograph signed and stuff like that. Stuff that like, because if you watch the documentary, then you know at the end he talked about the letter that he read.
Man, that letter almost got me.
Yeah, that letter almost made me cry. You know, with that woman having those
miscarriages and everything.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And that's the thing right there, because it's not like, we watch this for the performative stuff, but at the end of the day, wrestling is an art form, and it means so much to people in different ways. Like, there may be people that may not watch sports or may not listen to certain type of music, but wrestling is their outlet.
Yeah, wrestling's an escape. You know, like, you say you're going through hard stuff, and like, you know, you can connect, you can, gravitate towards these wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people gravitate towards Karrion Kross. I mean, he's just so genuine, and he even asked this person, like, I think it was like at one of these meet and greets, like, well, what do you enjoy most, about, wrestling? And, there's so many people, come up with different answers. Maybe some people might say, they enjoy the technical wrestling, or, they might enjoy the, the character work that wrestlers do. I mean, there's so many different answers you can come up with. And,
absolutely.
And I just like how he comes off as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So real. But continue.
No. That's pretty much it. Like, to sum it up, if my message wasn't clear for the people watching, I just need WWE not to drop the ball on the guys that really make the company move in the direction that it needs to go in. Not guys that's just there to get a paycheck and to just do moves in the ring. Guys that actually are the heart and soul of this business. Yeah. And there's plenty of them here, but there's not that many that have a voice, like a CM Punk, like a John Cena, like a Seth Rollins. There's other guys as well, like a Karrion Kross, like a Sami Zayn, like a Bray Wyatt. Yeah, man. It upsets me. It upsets me because this is a thing that tends to drive the passionate people away, because when you get too commercial with certain things, you lose the people that got you to the dance in the first place.
Yeah. And so this was somebody, so this is one of the pages I follow on IG, and I want to get y'all thoughts on this.
Okay.
Karrion Kross and Scarlett are officially done with WWE. And let's be real, he was never anything special. Sure, he could talk, but once the bell rang, he was painfully average. Not a single match of his is worth going back to. His best work, in quotations, all in NXT, and that's only because of guys like Ciampa, O'Reilly, Cole, Pete Dunne, and Santos Escobar worked their asses off to make him legit. Drew's lowest point in recent years was feuding with Kross, and the same goes for both Bobby Lashley and Sammy. If his in-ring skills matched his presentation, he'd be a main eventer. We need fewer Karrion Krosses, Jey Usos, Joe Hendricks, and Trick Williams, and more Gunthers, Obafemis, Swerve Stricklands, and Braun Breakers.
Okay, I'm going to agree with the initial statement of that. Like, I understand that, yes, when it comes to people being average, nobody wants to watch it all the time, and that's understandable. However, you can only go so far with in-ring work, because
especially if they handcuff you.
Yeah, and especially when he's handcuffed, then he can what he's limited to do in the ring.
Because
if you go watch his, like he mentioned, you go watch his NXT stuff. You even go watch his indie stuff, even when he was in TNA, his TNA stuff was, I love this TNA stuff, like what he did with Sami Callihan, just to say someone right there, and with his world title run that he had there, chef's kiss. Like, if you haven't seen that title run, definitely check it out.
Well, I mean, even with that stuff, I mean, it's fine to have all that stuff, because I mean, look, even if you look at the indies, and I'm gonna trail off a little bit slightly to make my point, but if you look at Ricochet and Will Ospreay, and back in the day when you had Vader criticize them, about everything seeming so rehearsed and how they did, everybody loved watching it. But then when you get to a platform like a WWE, when you have so many of these guys who can do certain things, some better than others, so on and so forth, and you're getting to a crowd that's trying to be entertained, there's a lot of people that go to these shows that don't give a damn about the in-ring work. You have a lot of kids who will watch TV that's there for the characters and not care about or not be able to comprehend how good somebody is in the ring. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, I have a friend, he's a casual fan, and he really only watches for the promos. That he can really care less about the in-ring work until it comes like to the PLEs. But yeah, he's more watching for the promos and like the character work.
And so and that's the thing there, because it's like, as and not to be as cliche to talk about, oh yeah, World Wrestling Entertainment, the whole entertainment aspect of it, but a lot of this stuff comes in ebbs and flows, and and it's almost like elevating your palate. If you're a kid and you're watching WWE and you plan on being somebody like us who grew up with the company, to where, yeah, we like the DX, we like the NWO stuff, we like, Jeff Hardy, because we like the cruiserweights, and we like all the guys who did the high flying stuff, because it catches our eye. We're not looking at the technical aspect of things. But then as we grow older and we're watching this stuff, we start to look at the entertainment aspect, and then we start gradually going to, oh wow, oh wow, look at this Bret Hart match with Stone Cold. Wow, I see the intricacy and I see the importance of this. Yeah, if you're an adult and you're saying, what Scoot just said as far as what he quoted, yeah, if you're looking at it from that aspect, you're looking at it from one section of that. You're not looking at it as a whole. And yeah, just like I said, Karrion Kross may not be the best in ring, but his character work is going to be something that's necessary, because when it comes down the line, if he ends up not working in the ring anymore and they need somebody to work backstage to help with creative, he's the person that you're going to go to, because he's going to help elevate everybody else in that same area. Ricochet, Bobby Lashley, Sasha Banks, I'm sure there's other people that I'm forgetting. Clearly, all these people are fantastic in the ring, but they lacked when it came to promos, character work, substance in that regard. You can only do so much with somebody who is good in the ring. If somebody is good as a character, you can get them good in the ring. And that's not to say that people that's bad at a character can't get better, but it takes longer to do that than the in-ring stuff, because you can easily just go train. I'm not downplaying the in-ring stuff. I'm just saying that it's almost like with music. You can't just write a song and get the right cadence down. You can't, follow, like, you can't understand the intricacies of what's going to make people engage with you on an emotional level. And it's the same thing with the in-ring. Bret Hart can go through, can do a match, and he can have you emotionally engaged because he can bring that out in a match. There's other people that can't do that shit in the ring, who just go in there, do moves, and leave it at that.
Yep. And there's no in-ring psychology.
Thank you. That's
because a lot of these days, I mean, I'm not gonna hate on AEW here, but AEW, there's points where like there's this do moves. Like you watch those all-star 8-man tag team matches, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like they're just doing a whole bunch of stuff. They're doing a whole bunch of flippity dippity stuff right now. They're doing a whole bunch of fuckery right now. And it's no in-ring psychology. I mean, yeah, it's just I like the in-ring psychology, but yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much all we can really say. We just, whatever they decide, whatever end up happening, it's just always sad when these things keep happening to a wrestler. Especially somebody who has ideas, especially for someone who could make things work, and you can clearly see the handcuffing happening, but
And you can see the passion that he has, about working
Yes.
in industry. And like he goes, like he said that he doesn't want to leave this place. He loves it here.
Mm-hmm.
And I could also lend credence to the fact of it would be completely different if he has no reaction. Either he has no reaction or it's just, man, get this dude out of here. But the fact that there are people who are legit like, we won't cross. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're like they confiscated signs this past Monday.
Yeah.
That was pro Karrion Kross. So it's just a weird thing that, a lot of times WWE is handed this alley-oop and all they have to do is just use it. All they have to do is just make the basket. And they don't. But I guess with that being said, is there anything else we want to get off our chest before we head out, or pretty much everything was with the Karrion Kross and Scarlett situation?
Damn it, Jimmy.
Hey, I'm gonna just get mine off right quick. Hey, Bret Hart, we get it. We understand. We did it. They invited you to SummerSlam. They said they didn't have a seat. You ain't got to go scorch earth. We get it. We get it, Bret. We get it. Jugs, you got anything you want to get off your chest?
Not really. No. Mm-mm.
All right, Dizzle. Well, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and do that beautiful sign off.
Yeah, I mean this was a quick one, sorry
Yeah,
that y'all,
yeah.
If y'all wanted something more extensive this week, ain't really much out this week. Outside of like Raw recaps and all the other shit, but hey, Raw wasn't really as eventful as we would want it to be. But I digress. Whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it, thumbs up, thumbs down, leave all your comments, questions, concerns down below. Make sure that you go check out Jugs' channel. You already know whenever that end card hits, it's on the end card. Just click it, go to it, subscribe to it, watch that shit. Make sure that you tag that like button, tag that subscribe button, tag that notification bell, so that way you get notified on any and everything that we do drop, especially with the tag tier list that is incoming as soon as humanly possible.
Yes.
But as I go ahead and warm up the nice man, and of course we rolling with it. So of course, if you watching and you want to join in on the Too Sweet, go ahead. You are more than welcome, and you are invited with a good old bada 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 bam.
Boom. Yes.
Now, until you see these handsome faces and you hear these immaculate voices, we bid you all adieu. And until next time, you beautiful, 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 beautiful mother effers, tag the fucketh out.
Peace.